The morning mist clung low over Santa Barbara's Coal Oil Point Reserve, smothering the beach in a cold, eerie silence. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video. Waves lapped rhythmically at the shore, but there was something different in the air, something unsettling. Matt, the newest intern at the reserve, had barely finished his coffee when he spotted it. A massive gray shape sprawled lifelessly along the sand. At first, he thought it was a beached whale, but as he crept closer, his breath caught. Whatever this was, it wasn't just strange. It was impossible. The creature was enormous, at least 7 feet long, maybe 1,000 pounds, and utterly unlike anything Matt had seen. It had no fins, no tail, no defining features, just a bloated, textured body with slick gray skin and an unnatural stillness that chilled him to the bone. His hands trembled as he snapped photos on his phone. Someone had to see this. But even as he turned to head back to the research station, Matt had a creeping feeling. Not everyone would want this found. Jessica Nielsen, a seasoned researcher at the reserve, nearly dropped Matt's phone when she saw the photos. "This washed up here?" she asked, barely able to process the image. In her years of work, she had seen countless oddities wash ashore, but this was something else. There was no record of anything like it, no precedent. She grabbed her coat and gear without another word. "Let's get back there. I need to see it for myself." When they returned to the beach, the fog had thickened and the tide had crept in. The creature was gone. Jessica stood frozen. "It's gone." Matt looked around, stunned. "Gone?" But it was huge. There's no way it just vanished. They searched for hours, combing every inch of coastline. But it wasn't until the following morning that they found it again, tucked awkwardly between seaweed and driftwood farther up the shore, as if something had dragged it. This time they marked the area with caution tape and took hundreds of photos. Jessica sent the files to 2 marine biologists she trusted, Dr. Foster and Dr. Nygaard, specialists in deep-sea anomalies. She hoped they'd help identify it. What she didn't expect was the phone call that followed just hours later. "Where exactly did you say this was?" Dr. Foster asked, his tone unusually tight. "Coal Oil Point," Jessica said slowly. "Why? What is it?" There was a pause. Then came the answer. "We're on our way." Jessica's stomach twisted with unease. By sunset, Dr. Foster and Dr. Nygaard arrived on site, visibly disturbed. They examined the creature in silence, its unnatural texture, the lack of fins, its sheer mass. Then came the verdict. "We think it's a hoodwinker sunfish," Foster muttered. Jessica blinked. "A what?" "The molotecta, or hoodwinker," Nygaard explained, "only discovered in 2014, incredibly rare, and never found glowing. Not until now." Jessica's pulse spiked. "Glowing?" Later that evening, Matt called her in a panic. "Jessica, come quick." She raced to the beach. There it was, again, its skin now emitting a faint, ghostly blue glow in the moonlight. Jessica felt like she was living in a science fiction film. The creature was dead, wasn't it? But now it pulsed with unnatural life. And then, slowly, it moved. It was impossible, unthinkable, yet the truth stood before them. Jessica's mind was racing. Who would conduct a chemical experiment on a creature so rare, and why? The hoodwinker sunfish was already a mystery to marine science, and now it had become something more, something terrifying. The beach had been cordoned off. Authorities claimed it was for ecological safety. But Jessica knew better. This was a cover-up. Back in her lab, Jessica and the team analyzed the substance the creature released. It wasn't just man-made. It was synthetic on a level they'd never seen. It seemed to alter DNA on contact, breaking down cell structures and rebuilding them rapidly. "It's not just a mutation agent," Dr. Nygaard whispered. "It's a weapon." Jessica's breath caught. A biological weapon? Released in the ocean? She looked at the map of currents off the coast. If the substance entered open waters, it could spread. Fast. "We need to go public," Matt said, voice tight. People need to know. But Dr. Foster shook his head. We do that, and whoever's behind this will disappear, along with the evidence. We need proof they can't deny. That night, Jessica received a call from an anonymous number. The voice on the other end was distorted. You're in over your head. Leave this alone, or others will suffer. Click. Jessica froze. Her hands trembled. Someone was watching them, monitoring them. But how? The next morning, the lab was broken into. Files gone. Samples destroyed. Security footage erased. Jessica stood in the middle of the wreckage, feeling like the ground had been pulled from under her. They're erasing everything, she whispered. Matt clenched his fists. Then we take it to them. Using their last backup samples and the drone footage, the team pieced together one final report and uploaded it to an encrypted drive with worldwide access. If anything happened to them, the truth would still get out. But they didn't get far. That afternoon, Jessica was pulled into a black SUV by government agents. Matt disappeared. Dr. Foster and Dr. Nygaard were placed on administrative leave. Jessica sat in a gray room, an agent staring at her with cold precision. We need to talk about what you saw, he said flatly. You're mistaken. No, she said, voice trembling but defiant. I'm not. You didn't find a creature, he continued. You found a prototype, one that was never meant to surface. Jessica's stomach turned. Prototype? The agent leaned in. Our oceans are changing. We're preparing. She was released hours later, shaken, warned never to speak of it again, but the damage was done. The story had already leaked. Jessica returned to the beach one final time. The ocean stretched out before her, wide, endless, silent. But she knew it wasn't empty. Something had been awakened. Something was still out there, and it might not be the last time the ocean gives back what it was never supposed to.